Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 45 of my Human Mage playthrough. We are currently in Stormwind, but I'm about to take a flight path to Booty Bay, because this episode I want to do a lot of adventuring in Stranglethorn Vale. This is a zone that we came to several episodes ago, and I talked a lot about the lore of the zone and basically kind of where it sits in like the World of Warcraft, like leveling experience. But today we are going to go ahead and go to the southern tip of Stranglethorn Vale, which is where Booty Bay is located, and then we are going to pick up a bunch of quests around here, and then we are going to go ahead and explore all of these quests. And here we are flying into Booty Bay, and we see that there are a ton of quests here for me to pick up. So let's go ahead and run around Booty Bay, and then I'm just probably going to pick them all up, and then I'll choose what I want to do in the moment. And we might spend a couple episodes here doing a bunch of quests as we level up. I kind of want to get to like level 44, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do all that in Stranglethorn, and I'm not sure if I can do all that in Stranglethorn just with the quests here alone. I might have to do some grinding or go to like other zones. But here we have the captain's chest. I used to sail a ship from here all the way to Ratchet and Kalimdor. I was a successful captain with a sterling reputation, until those cursed sea giants ruined me. They smashed my ship, killed my crew, and set me on a lifeboat to Booty Bay. And one of the giants, Gorlash, stole my captain's chest. He said he wanted it for a snuff box. The nerve. I hear Gorlash wanders the coast east of here. Find him and get back my chest. Do that and you'll have earned a captain's gratitude. So this is a group quest that we might actually be able to solo since we are a mage. However, it's a level 47 quest, so we'll probably have to come back in the future. And I think there is another quest similar to this one where we see this very iconic statue here on this island, a statue of like a goblin trade prince or whatever, and there is another sea giant that is on that island that I believe we can fight and get a chest from him. So that is something to look out for in the future as well. But then we have like the main quest line that I kind of want to work on at this episode here with the Bloodsail Buccaneers, which are basically just all the pirates that are around this area, and we'll talk more about them in a moment as we start doing those quests. But I have that one picked up now. There are a ton of quests in Booty Bay because Stranglethorn Vale ranges from level 30 to level 45-ish, where some of these quests we came here and we picked up at like level 33 or whatever, like this quest in here, which I'm not going to do. But there are a ton of other quests for like the higher level 30 range, which is something that we kind of skipped over, where we had like some level 38 quests we could do all the way up in northern Stranglethorn, and then we have some level 40-ish quests that we can do right here going into like the level 45, which we see one of those quests right here, and I'll go ahead and just pick up all of these. And then I think that's all the ones outside. Oh, there's one more down here. And then I think everything else is inside the inn or at the top, where we have our leaders up at the very top and a bunch of other quests on the different floors within. And you see with all these quests that I'm picking up right now, they give quite a bit of gold, because as we get closer to level 60, the quest rewards are like more and more beneficial, where we can get more like better items from them, of course, because we're getting higher level items, but we also get more gold because the economy kind of like inflates and goes up as you reach level 60, or like stuff when you're level 1 is worth like a couple copper, and now we're seeing stuff that we can sell for like a gold each. And then the Venture Company Mining, I'll go ahead and pick this up. Zanzo's Secret, we talked about him when we were here last time. I'll pick up that quest as well. And then we have another one right here. I think some of these have us going to other places in the world, but I'm just going to pick them all up right now, and then maybe we'll go on an adventure to another part of Azeroth in a future episode. Have a quest to go to Gadget Design right there, which we might end up doing. I think these two quests are like a super low level, and I'm probably not going to do them, but I'll go ahead and pick them up just in case there's stuff around here. This is to go to Arathi Highlands, and then this is up in northern Stranglethorn. So I think that is everything that I'm going to pick up right now. So let's go ahead and start our adventures with all the quests we have to do in the Cape of Stranglethorn. And I wanted to talk about a piece of World of Warcraft lore and story which I find really interesting, because I've never really learned about this until just recently, where I was going through a lot of like wiki pages for World of Warcraft and learning a lot more. So I want to talk about it, and that of course is the Bloodsail Buccaneers, who have a huge presence here in the Cape of Stranglethorn, and we're going to learn through the quests that we do here. Basically, they're trying to attack Booty Bay to basically get like loot from it, and then to take that loot for themselves. and then we basically stop their plots. That's like the quick TLDR of like this whole quest chain that we were doing here. But to read a little bit more about the Bloodsail Buccaneers, I will read from a few different wiki pages, and I'll throw those wiki pages down in the description if you want to read through more stuff. But during the events leading up to and following the Third War, several criminal organizations appeared in Azeroth. The Bloodsail Buccaneers appear to be one of these organizations, originating from the Bloodsail Hold on Plunder Isle, and is where their ruler, Duke Favravir, holds court. They now plot to plunder and cripple the Steamweedle cartel-controlled port town of Beauty Bay, currently under the protection of the Blackwater Raiders. So, a couple quick things from this. Plunder Isle is an interesting location because even today in the modern retail version of World of Warcraft, I don't believe it's somewhere that we are able to go to, and it is on an island that is east of Kazan, which we actually go to twice in the modern day World of Warcraft. But Plunder Isle and then the capital of Bloodsail Hold is still not a place where anyone can go to. Its location in the world is east of Kazan and southeast of Zandalar, to be exact. And the closest that we got to this was during the Battle for Azeroth beta. There was a map labeled as Plunder Isle, which was data mined, but it did not appear in the game. And I think that's kind of interesting because Battle for Azeroth has us going to Zandalar, which is near Plunder Isle. And then we also return to Kazan, I believe, in a dungeon in that expansion, which is near Plunder Isle. And then there was a whole, I didn't play Battle for Azeroth, so I'm a little shaky, but there was a whole like expedition thing where you go to various islands around like the seas of Azeroth to get like Azerite or whatever. So that's a little bit of a tangent, but it's just interesting that this is where the Bloodsail Buccaneers come from, and they are coming here to the Cape of Stranglethorn to basically try to get stuff from Beauty Bay. But then on the other end of things, there are the Blackwater Raiders, who we see a lot of this organization in Beauty Bay, and they are also a group of pirates, but they are basically kind of in line with the Steamweedle cartel. Their leader is Baron Revelgaz, who's like the leader of Beauty Bay, and they're all part of the Steamweedle cartel, kind of. But we see these two factions basically warring, and it's like a really fun kind of like pirate story that's going on here. And we definitely get a lot of kind of those pirate themes with the Bloodsail Buccaneers here in Stranglethorn Vale, because they have ships and they have like pirate hats and they have parrots and stuff like that. And then there's some really fun stuff that we could interact with the Bloodsail Buccaneers if we wanted, where we can actually ally ourselves with them and we can attack Beauty Bay, which is a really cool thing with the World of Warcraft Classic. And if we do that, we will become hated with Beauty Bay and the rest of the Steamweedle cartel, but we can get some special rewards such as like a pirate hat and a special parrot, I believe. But to talk more about the Bloodsail Buccaneers, they have two sub-organizations known as the Brashtide Crew and the Bloodsail Boomers. And although they are extremely dangerous, they are the least wealthy of all pirate groups. This is due to the simple fact that no one survives a Bloodsail attack, which means the pirates don't allow survivors to be possibly robbed again in the future. Captain Jarius Bloodvein once abducted James Blackridge, Liam, and Bram Woodring, forcing them into becoming pirates themselves. After some time, the three escaped, killing Jarius in the process. The Bloodsail plot to plunder and cripple the Steamweedle cartel-controlled port city of Beauty Bay that was under the protection of the Blackwater Raiders. It is likely the Bloodsail Buccaneers came to take advantage of the city's current loss of its fleet off the coast of the Urathi Highlands, in which two of its ships were destroyed and the remaining ship forced to find shelter in a cove where its crew currently fights to survive skirmishes against the Daggerspine Naga. The pirates had a deal with Edwin Van Cleef. In preparation for the attack, the Bloodsail Buccaneers took up positions in key locations near the city. They had 3 ships anchored along the coastline south of Beauty Bay, clear of the town's defensive cannons, with camps also being built along the same coast in preparation for the attack. In addition, a scouting party landed just west of the entrance to the city, reporting all activities, and a compound was being constructed along the road leading towards the city and was likely able to stop any reinforcement from coming to aid Beauty Bay. Both the Bloodsail Buccaneers and Blackwater Raiders seek to achieve their goals without having their forces engaged in battle. To this end, each side seeks the aid of adventurers sympathetic to their cause. And then we see the Bloodsail Buccaneers evolve over the years in the retail version of World of Warcraft, and then we have some more experiences with them and some more story that happens. But of course that might be something we talk more about in the future. And one last interesting thing about the Bloodsail Buccaneers is that their main leader is unknown. Of course, during this quest, we do board the ship of Fleetmaster Ferallan, and we basically defeat him, and then we also defeat a few other like smaller leaders here in Stranglethorn Vale. But of course, whoever is the boss of the Fleetmaster here is unknown to us, and that might be something that we discover in the future. But of course, with Stranglethorn Vale being such a big location, there is a lot more story going on here than just the Bloodsail Buccaneers, as you've seen a little bit of now. And I want to talk about one more organization in Azeroth that we have not really talked about yet, and that is the Venture Company, who we see all across Stranglethorn Vale. So the Venture Company, or Venture Trading Company, often shortened to simply Venture, is a goblin-run cartel notorious for plundering Azeroth's natural resources. Considered part of the Trade Coalition, the company operates throughout many parts of Azeroth. The Trade Coalition is the name of the Goblins' merchant empire. The Venture Company is part of the coalition, as are presumably all goblin organizations and cartels, including the trade fleets. So we would assume that the Steamneedle cartel is also part of this trade coalition, and because of that, the Steamneedle cartel and the Venture Company are kind of allied, but we see that they're also kind of enemies. So it's a really interesting relationship where they kind of work together, but they're also at each other's throats. And then we see here with Booty Bay that is going on as well, as we are sent off to fight some of the Venture Company around Stranglethorn Vale. But during classic World of Warcraft, the Venture Company activities can be discovered in Mogor, the Barrens, and Stranglethorn Vale. In the Stone Talon Mountains, they conducted lumber and mining operations, leaving every cliff barren in their wake. They were known for stealing many of the best goblin mines. During that time, the Venture Company was known to trade with various shady groups. It had dealings with the Zanzo of Stranglethorn Vale, which had discovered a way to raise the dead through the use of poison. The company stored some of the mixture at Venture Tower and traded the formula to the Defice Brotherhood, especially to Clavin Mortwake. Clavin Mortwake is an individual who is important for the rogue quest of the Alliance in order to get Thistle Tea, which is really interesting because there's kind of like that whole potion and poison stuff going on with rogues, and then we see this with the Venture Company and Zanzo's poisons here. But I think with all the different quests that are here in Stranglethorn Vale, there's just a lot of stuff going on, and I really enjoy going through all these different quests. And this is our second episode now that we have spent in Stranglethorn Vale doing some stuff, where we did some stuff a few episodes ago in northern Stranglethorn Vale, and now we are down here in southern Stranglethorn Vale. And I think for the most part we are now done with all of this stuff, and I'll probably return here around level 50 just to do a few quests, and that might be a part of like a world trekking episode like last episode. But overall, I think I'm pretty much done with this zone. And obviously I've only done a fraction of like the content in this zone, and that will be something that we look at in future Let's Play series if we ever get to that point. But with having completed so much stuff in this episode, I went ahead and went back to Booty Bay and turned in all these quests, and I'm now almost level 43, which is really cool. And I think I'm going to go ahead and call the episode good here. And next episode, I am planning on us going and doing a big adventure in Kalimdor, so that should be exciting. But I hope you all enjoyed watching through this episode, and I very much enjoyed playing through it and talking with all of you here. And I hope you all are taking good care of yourselves. Remember to drink some water, check your posture, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time in the world of Azeroth. Goodbye.